Welcome to our Team Southern Strong call. It is October 4th. I cannot believe that it is October already. I feel like I always say that when we start our calls, but this year is absolutely flying by, and I'm really excited for what October has in store for our team. This is, let me pull up our slides. This is the last month that we will have our all of our challenge packs on sale. So I really hope that all of you are seriously taking advantage of that. I feel like that our company has done such a favor the last few months of putting everything on sale. And it is just, I think, such a blessing that when we talk to people about price objections, or people who we've talked to in the last few months about price objections, we can tell them, no, this is the best price that you're going to get. This is it. This is your time. It really sets us up for success the past 2 months, and especially in October when things are starting to kind of, life gets busy and we're kind of slowing down a little bit. So our October challenge pack promotions are basically everything. Country Heat, 21-day fix, 21-day fix extreme, everything that's listed. And this month for our Success Club, you get a webcast with Eric Quailman. I'm not sure who that is. I've been meaning to Google him, but I'm sure he's going to be pretty incredible, because any of the Success Club webcasts that they give us are packed full of value, and I just always feel like I've learned so much from them. This month, if you are looking toward attending the New Leader Conference, the qualification is, I think it's the 28th. Gina, does that sound right? It's like the...
Yeah. They're going back and forth between the 17th and the 28th.
Okay.
I think you have to have a full week paid in that qualification and then still hold your 6-week qualification. So I know there's some black and white, there's some like fine print going on. I'm actually going to look it up myself too, because Melanie had 2 dates on the last call.
So I've noticed the last few weeks that corporate seems like they're changing a lot of things, trying to make it easier for all of us to reach our goals for the end of the year. And then same thing for elite and premier qualifications, if that is on your radar or something that you made a goal for 2016. To backpack pedal a little bit, wanted to shout out everyone for September. September was an incredible month, and I don't want, even if your name is not on here, I don't want you to think that your hard work went unnoticed. Our Success Club pod was outstanding this month. I love getting to spend time with each and every one of you that took part in that. And you just, y'all, you did incredible, showing up every day, posting your 4 vital behaviors, being an excellent product of the product on your page. And I know that all of your hard work that you did last week is definitely going to pay off in October. I want to give special shout outs to Alice Stewart, who was at Success Club 6, and Alex Dickinson, who did not give up and hit Success Club 6 the very last day of the month. Alex, you are incredible. And then, of course, Amelia Sorensen for having 2 points on the board. Every single Success Club point that we see on this leaderboard is a reflection of the people that we helped. And guys, helping 12 lives is absolutely incredible and absolutely outstanding. So everybody on our team, even if your name is not on here, please be so very proud of yourself. And I'm excited to see what we're going to do in September and see how many lives that we touch, or in October, and see how many lives that we get to touch in October. So I'm very excited about our call tonight. We have a very special guest, Gina. Caracci?
Caracci, yeah.
Caracci. I always feel like I'm like, when I was saying it in my head, I'm like, I think I'm pronouncing it wrong. So I'm glad I got to ask you.
Gina, for people, whatever they say is fine.
Gina is someone that I have admired from afar for a long time. I don't know if she knows this. I'm going to confess to you real quick. When I first got on a call, Gina had on scrubs, and I was watching her, and I was like, man, I know that she's in a medical field. I think she's a doctor. I'm not really sure. I just know that if she can do that because her job in the medical field, I know, is so time consuming and so very, you have to be very dedicated to be in the medical field. If she can do it, I can do it. And I looked to you. And when you got on calls, I was like, you know what? There's no excuses. If she can get on here, I can do it. And then I found out that you were a traveling therapist, which means that your job is even more time consuming than I thought it was, because you're constantly moving and you're constantly traveling. And I've never told you this, but I've always really admired you for all of your hard work and your stamina and your just positive attitude about everything. So thank you so much for being on our call and sharing with us. I am so excited for our team to learn more about you. I have, absolutely fell in love with you and Destin, and I'm excited about our friendship, and I'm glad that I get to share that with my team.
Anna, first, thank you so much. Like, I truly appreciate, one, you even asking me to be on this call. Guys, you having a wonderful leader on your hands. Alden is somebody that I look up to. I see her crush her goals every single month, and I'm always wondering, like, dang, how does this girl do it? You always see Alden's posts, and her kids are crawling all over her, and she's got this busy life, and she just kills it, guys. She shows up for you, for her team, because she is so passionate about the team that she has built. Congratulations to all of you guys on the Success Club board. That is really important, guys. It starts with our challengers. I will talk about that, the importance of getting those lives changed. It's not about numbers. It's not about Success Club. It's about the number that that person represents, and that's a life that needs change. So I'm going to share with you, I'm not the most tech savvy person, so let's see how this goes. So I'm going to share with you guys my journey. And so what you see right here is what you get. And you will see that if you see my post. I am honestly at the end of my day. My day starts at 5 and it usually ends between 11 and 12. So I am very down to earth. I have a headband on every single day because I have ridiculous hair. And it's just something that I just am me, and I don't apologize for that anymore. And that's something I'll touch on that I learned at the Destin Leadership Retreat. But I'm going to share with you guys how I have been failing forward in this business. And so let me get this here. And so this is called Failing Forward, Challenger to Business Builder. It's not over until you say it's over. And so this is kind of the timeline of where I'm at in my business. On the far left is where I started as a challenger, and the things in my first year of my business that put me in the position that I am in now. And so those pictures represent really important people in my life that are no longer with me. And I'll touch on that and why that's so important, because it's the reason why I am still here. So who was I before Beachbody? This is honestly, the number one thing I speak to my personal team about as well, is that you have to talk to the person you were before this wonderful gift came into our lives, guys, because it truly will change your life if you let it on so many levels. And so what a lot of people don't know about me is that I come from a very dark past. I'm somebody that was physically abused by a biological parent. I was abandoned by that biological parent. And I spent the first half of my life kind of trying to figure out what was going on in this world I was brought into, not fully understanding what God had given me. And honestly, it was a second chance at life. And so I became this very gypsy lifestyle person that you will hear about. I am a traveling therapist. What that means is every 3 to 6 months, I move. This is going into my 4th year doing this. I cover 4 states, which means that things like friendships and relationships are very hard. And it's something that Beachbody has continually blessed me with, because making friends, being a young female, honestly, is not that easy as a traveler. I am a free spirit. You guys will see it. I am totally into yoga, and I talk about your soul and mindset, and I just go with who I am, and I don't apologize for that. And I hope you guys learn that from me, is that you should never apologize for who you are, whether you're into knitting or crocheting or you love Harry Potter like me. You just have to embrace who you are and share that. I was a challenger first, guys. A lot of what people don't know about me is I did not know anything about Team Beachbody, but I was already drinking Shakeology. My roommate, who was super fit at the time, was drinking the shake every single day, and it was total peer pressure. She was thin, she was fit. At the time, I was overweight. I saw her doing it, and I figured, why not me? So I went to her gym, paid $5 a packet, and was buying an entire month's supply. So if you talk about and do the math, the money I wasted because I didn't know about Team Beachbody. What happened was I really honestly loved Shakeology. I was somebody having a lot of health problems the first year that I got involved as a challenger, and things like Shakeology and the consistent nutrition turned me from being deficient in some of my top vitamin groups, having tons of energy issues, and being overweight, to being in the healthiest I had ever been, confusing my doctors as to why I no longer needed medication. It's pretty cool, honestly, if you educate and research Shakeology, what you can help other people with when they're struggling. I turned into a discount coach. I got a challenge pack with Kaio. I refused to coach, and I just participated in challenge groups. I have suffered with anxiety and depression most of my life. I honestly didn't know what I had for the longest time. I come from a family that expects a lot. Like she said, thinking about me being as a physician, that's honestly something still being pushed on me at 28. I am a successful traveling therapist, but I come from a family that knows my potential, but honestly has a lot of pressure. I come from a world where there is honestly perfection, and making mistakes is a non-negotiable. So me continuing on with my medical career is something I hear about still on a monthly basis. So always being anxious, never feeling like I honestly had worth or that I amounted to enough, is something that I've struggled with my entire life. Why join a challenge group? Honestly, guys, this is the number one thing that brought me into this business. I was borderline pre-diabetic. I was struggling with loss at the time. I had honestly gone through a very unexpected breakup with the person I intended to spend the rest of my life with. We moved out of the house, I did, out of the house that we had created, and I had to start over. I had become overweight as a result of it. I just lacked self-confidence. I struggle with pulmonary condition I was born with, and I will struggle with the rest of my life. So my being short of breath was something I came about daily. I had no energy, I lacked motivation, and I was looking for strength because I just didn't have it in me. So my journey to being a coach year one was something that I refused initially, and I laughed because I said I couldn't do this. I was one of those people that just didn't think I had the worth and didn't think I mattered enough. I looked at top coaches like Val, and I looked at Lindsay Matway, who I met at my first summit, who I resonated with because she comes from a very broken home too. To see somebody like her accomplish the things that she can accomplish, knowing what she deals with internally, was one of the reasons that honestly pushed me to being a coach. So what happened? How did I become a coach? Which is always a fun story. So I wanted to continue with my Shakeology. I, at the time, was on a very limited budget, even though I had a very successful job. I was working 7 days a week. I was a therapist during the week, and I was a on-call therapist on the weekends. I was very tight financially because my minimum student loan payment was $1,200 a month, not including things like food and rent and all of your other daily bills. I was the person, guys, that is the price objection. I couldn't afford Shakeology. There was no extra money. I was already close to breaking even every month. But I knew that this stuff, whatever was this magical consistency that was brought into my world, was making me feel better, and I needed to invest in myself. So when I was told that I could simply help 3 friends every month and get my Shakeology paid for, I was sold. So from the moment I became a discount coach, I have hit Success Club every single month, and I wasn't even working the business. And that's the key thing about what you'll learn about me, is that I am not your typical go with the flow, just totally 100% into coaching. It was not for me at the time. But I wanted to help people, and I brought people into this business as challengers. So what that meant was that I ran a challenge group every single month with a couple of other coaches, even though I was just doing this to have my Shakeology paid for. At the time, like I said, I was working 7 days a week, doing what I do, and it's physically lifting. My job, I leave dripping in sweat, tired, no matter if I'm there 8 hours, some days I'm there 11 hours. It just depends on the day. But my job, I needed more. I was drowning in my life, and I was young. I had no clue what I wanted to do. I went to school because I loved therapy, but I knew in school, which is kind of scary thinking about now, that I was in the wrong place. And knowing that in my head, I've always wanted to go to medical school, and being a physician is something I still think about to this day. I just couldn't do it because for some reason it didn't touch my soul. It touched my heart, but it didn't touch the person I was inside. I went diamond by default. Everyone was going diamond. Everyone was doing it, and I wanted to go diamond too. I truly didn't understand the importance of, once you get to diamond, maintaining at that rank. I just did it because everyone else was doing it, and I knew it would financially help me. So I signed up family members. The thing that I not regret now, but wish I would have built more of a stable business, was getting to Diamond. And I attended every Super Saturday. Even though I was just kind of like a discount coach, I still attended the events, which is where I met Autumn, who honestly brought me to tears because she was the reason that I was physically turning my life around and thankfully was off medication. I attended Summit, guys, because my whole team was going, and all I kept hearing about was that Summit will change your life. And it did. For me, Summit was a huge game changer in my business, and it enabled me to meet the people that I look up to. But honestly, something at Summit was happening that I didn't know about. So my journey to coaching involves a lot of pain, but it meets me with the passion I have to keep going. When I was at Summit, I had just moved south 6 weeks before. It is something that I wanted for my entire life. I had saved up for the first 2 years being a traveler in order to go. I finally took the leap of faith, got in my car with my life, said goodbye to my family, knowing in my heart something was wrong. I had this awful feeling, and I just thought that I was afraid, but I wasn't. It was God telling me that something was coming my way, and I didn't listen. At Summit, I found out that my grandfather was in the hospital on our first day there. My family, because they are the kind-spirited people that they are, didn't want me to know what was happening. They told me he had fallen and that he was just in there for a checkup. And I found out that on our last day at Summit, that my grandfather, who is my best friend, who I will consider always my best friend, even though he is no longer with us, had a massive stroke. The man that I loved the most was suffering from something that I work with every single day. So when I was at Summit, we drove from Nashville to Gulfport, and I got in my car from Gulfport and drove all the way to Pittsburgh. I needed to be with my family, and when I got there very fast, I watched this scenario develop, and I knew in my heart, because this is my job, that I knew he wasn't going to make it. So I was forced to explain to my family and help them understand the reality of our situation. So I postponed going back to work, and for 2 weeks I sat by his bedside, helped him to his therapy sessions, and he passed away. A month later, I had returned back to work in Baltimore. I did not move back south. Something in my heart told me that I needed to be near my family. I finally listened, sucked up my pride, and didn't return back to Florida. A month later, I was sitting there in my living room one day. I'd been sick all day long. I knew something in my heart was wrong, but you just can't put a finger on when you have these gut feelings. And I had a phone call. And the police called to tell me that my father had suddenly passed away from heart failure. No rhyme, no reason. The man had a clean bill of health the week before, and for some reason it was his time. Something that I could not fathom, why I would lose my two father figures within a month. Something that affected my business in a way that I didn't realize until now. And 3 months after my father passed away, I lost my best friend to cancer at 34. So to tell somebody that you have to continue on and you have to be positive, you want to continue this business. Guys, I know what it's like when life happens. I know what it's like to watch my entire world be taken from me in a very short period of time. And it took me about 6 months to really grasp myself after this happened to me, because I couldn't fathom why I had to lose the 3 most important people in my life, and why I had to wake up every single day as just this person who didn't feel like she belonged anymore. During that time, guys, I never missed Success Club. I will not be shy about the fact that I think Success Club is the most important thing in our business, because that means you are changing lives. Without Success Club, you don't have a business. If you're not changing lives, you're not in the business of helping people. It's not about a number for me. I am not somebody that hits Success Club 50. I always hit Success Club 5 to 10. I never miss it, because I never want to miss an opportunity to motivate somebody and inspire strength in them. Now, we are at the second point for my journey to coaching. It became a now what moment. I didn't know what to do with myself. I did not know how to live my life. I would pick up a phone and go to call my best friend, but she wasn't on the other end. And it was something that I had to adjust in the way I posted, because doing my typical challenge group posts were not going to cut it. I could not pretend, and I was not going to pretend for the sake of my family, for them to think that I was okay. I wanted them to know that I was supporting them, that I genuinely cared about the people I had lost, and their importance has never fallen to the wayside. I always ran challenge group guys at this time because that is the one thing as a coach that you are asked to do. We have one benchmark in our business, and it is to hit Success Club. If you're not hitting Success Club, what are you doing? That's how I had to think about it. And for me, this business was a way to not forget, but to pull back from a very dark world. It gave me a chance to figure myself out and enabled me, guys. At rock bottom is when I found who I was. At rock bottom, it's when I found my mission for what I wanted to do with this business, and it far superseded just selling a challenge pack. At rock bottom is when I came out fighting, and I refused to give up on this business, on myself, and the people that I knew needed my inspiration, because there are so many people out there that are struggling with so much more than we will ever realize. And I knew that as somebody that had been through a lot, that I was needed. My journey to coaching honestly involves a very big comeback. It's the position I'm in right now. I made goals that I failed. I failed every single one of those goals, but I failed forward. I set goals at the beginning of the year before I knew what God was going to bring into my life, not realizing that I had to adjust my goals because my life had adjusted. So I established my realest why ever. The person you see on the left is the person that was at the desk in leadership retreat. It's something that I will speak on that honestly changed my life. But my why far supersedes wanting to help people live healthier, more fulfilled lives. I am 28 years old and I have a 22-year-old little brother. We are now without parents. He is my responsibility now, and to think that I can help us survive this difficult time, but help him finish school without having to worry about where the basic needs are going to come from, enables me to push harder in this business every single month, because I know that he relies on me for strength, and that's something that I will never be able to fill our father's shoes, but I know that our dad would want us taken care of. And I know if my dad was going to put it in the hands of anyone, he would have put it in mine, because my family will always tell you, if you want something done, ask Gina to do it. And honestly, she's already probably done it. So I had to stop making excuses. It was time to stop saying, I'm tired. I haven't slept in days. I haven't eaten days. I had to stop making excuses because my job is hard. I won't lie. There are days where my patients pass away right in front of us. There are days when somebody has a stroke in our care, and it is just something that you have to keep moving forward with, because that is the kind of care that I'm involved in. I had to stop making excuses as to why I wasn't following a workout plan, because I was too tired. There was a million excuses that went through my head, but I had to focus on my mindset. And it used to honestly piss me off when somebody told me that I had to change my mindset. It wasn't a mindset to go through what I went through, but it was a mindset on how I handled it and how I came out fighting. I had to become present, guys. I was not present with my team. I was not present on social media. I posted just to post so I could say that I posted 3 to 5 times a day, but the numbers didn't add up. I had to realize in order to be present, that meant that I had to share the reality of what I was going through. And sometimes, guys, those posts brought myself to tears. But if I had to hear it, somebody else had to hear it too. I then attended Summit for the second time. Guys, I was terrified to go back to Summit. I felt that there was a black cloud around me, and the whole time I was there, I secretly had a fear that I would get another phone call when I was there. But Summit, guys, it starred for a very big reason. At my first Summit, I sat in a row full of amazing leaders on this team, and they all raised their hand that they wanted to be full-time coaches, but I didn't. I didn't even know what I wanted in this business. I was just there going through the motions of being a coach because I thought that's what you're supposed to do. I didn't have a passion deeper than just words. I was just there to be there. But at this summit that we just held this July, I raised my hand, because I want this business more than I want anything. And I had to realize that on my own. I had to go through a period of time. I had to learn what motivated me to feel myself in this business, to be a better leader, to inspire people on a deeper level. Because I realized that that's what I bring to the table. I am just not a surface coach. And then I attended the leadership retreat. This is our team. I love this picture because we won the Beach Olympics. I'm very competitive. And I got to be on a team with Alyssa Shoemaker, which totally made me nervous, but excited me so much more because at the leadership retreat, it's where I felt my soul feel free for the first time in a year. I stood on the beach with our entire team, 100+ leaders, people I look up to. And for the first time, I felt like I was in the right place at the right time. I felt like I deserved to be there. But it took me, guys, 2 years. But I've been consistent. I've hit Success Club. I've never stopped showing up. Even in my most difficult times, you will see if you scroll through my timeline, there are pictures of me on my knees praying to God to make it through that day so that my family could make it through that day. And I shared that stuff because that is what was going on in my life. And that's the importance of being a coach, is to show up every single day, to be consistent, and no matter where you're at in your business, to keep pushing forward. The action steps that I found that helped me change my business are the things listed here. I did not respect this business like a business, and I can honestly say that. I'm not afraid to say that, because I went to my day job and it honestly controls my every being, and it still does, because I am just not at a point where I can accept that I'm ready to take this unconventional step. The numbers have to add up. I spend a lot of my time working my business at night, and I'm not worried about it because I set business hours. So if you're somebody that wants to work this business, whether it's part-time or full-time, or you're like me, you just want a discount, but you need a little extra money, you have to respect this as a business. And when you set those business hours, you don't disrespect them. During your business hours, you're solely working your business. You're not attending to your phone. You're not scrolling through Facebook. You are being present for the people whose lives need change because of you. I invested in trainings, guys. I attended the Diamond Leadership Retreat. I've attended a couple other online trainings, and I've been to every single event that our Pittsburgh Council has presented, and I live 5.5 hours away because I live in Baltimore right now, but I still drive to every single event because those trainings, every time I take another piece away and it touches me in a place that I know is building me to be the leader that I know I've always wanted to be, but I just needed the stepping stones to get there. Guys, I have dove into personal development like no other. I was the person that refused to do personal development. I was not about to read some self-help book that was going to tell me that I'm awesome and I'm a great person. That's just not me. I am sarcastic and I am very blunt. And honestly, sometimes that's not read well. But I am a red personality and I mean business when I do things. So I dove into personal development. And here's the key with this. If you are struggling in an area of your life or your business or potentially your faith, you have to find a book that resonates with where you are then. For me, I had to find a book to help me gain the confidence to show back up as a coach. And as this year has progressed, I've read more and more leadership books, things like The Energy Bus, that have truly changed my mindset, which I always thought was a crock, but it totally is not, to build myself into this leader that is coming, to the person that I know next year is going to shine. I went back to the basics. I started doing a program and I posted about it every single day. Day 1, boom. Day 2, I talked about my Shakeology, not in a salesy way. You won't see me kissing my Shakeology cup. You won't see me sharing some stock image. You're going to see me in the car drinking my shake as I'm late to work, which is the story of my life every single day anymore. I went back to the basics and I showed up and I followed the marketing plan that our leaders established, and I posted every single day. No matter if there was 1 like or 100 likes, I just kept showing up. And that is the key, guys. That's why I put on here, this business is not over until you say it's over. So if you've fallen off the wagon, if you're somebody who hasn't hit Success Club in several months, don't compare yourself to me just because I've hit Success Club. It was my business, and you have to think about your business. So if you're somebody falling off the wagon right now, guys, just stop. Tomorrow, start again. Wake up, do your first post, do your workout, get back to the things that you need, because at the end of the day, no matter what happens, you are worth taking care of yourself physically and mentally to be a better person to those in your lives, and because you truly deserve to feel confident, happier, and healthier. I made team calls a priority just like this one. I was so excited when Alden asked me to speak. I was honestly shocked. Guys, team calls, when you are on a team call, please be present. I am totally the culprit of the person doing my Team Z or doing my check-ins on a team call, and then I have to go back and listen to the team call because I wasn't paying attention. So now on team calls, my phone gets shut off. All websites get shut down. I sit with a notebook and a pen and I listen and I implement and I highlight. And then the next day I read my notes again and I start using those strategies. The worst thing is that you become a hoarder of information. It's wonderful to be present, but if you don't utilize the steps that you're learning, what's the point of wasting your time on a team call, in my opinion? So I make them a priority, but I respect them and I listen to that person because for that hour, somebody gave their time to me to help me grow as a person. And in what world, guys, do you have a team this large of women who genuinely want to see each other be successful? I don't know about you, but I've never found it anywhere else in my life. Missing Success Club, again, guys, you'll hear me say it 4,000 times, and it's not because I'm a big Success Club number earner. It's just not, it's non-negotiable for me because I want to change lives. I want to be that person that is motivated and inspired to not give up. Because for me, at the darkest time in my life, at the point that I was so ready, honestly, to just wave the white flag and to call it quits on everything, there was somebody, and it was this community of people checking in on me and making sure that I was going to make it through that next day. And that is something that I don't want any person to miss out on. So Success Club has to be non-negotiable on a personal level. You have to see it more as points and see it more as people and respect their time because they invest in you, and you have to show up and give them amazing challenge groups because they deserve that kind of support and they believe in you. And I had to honestly stop apologizing for who I am. Kim Carver is the man on the left. He is also known as the Coach Whisperer, but he was at our Diamond Leadership Retreat. I've heard him speak 2 other times. Once was when I was a new coach at a vital behavior training. And we talked about our personality types and the things we are going through. And he asked our strengths and weaknesses. And everyone's weaknesses was recruiting or hitting Success Club or motivating coaches. And I honestly said that my weakness is myself. I am my biggest weakness because I apologize for who I am. I tell people, sorry, I don't want to bother you, but I just wanted to send you this message. But I'm not sorry because every message you send is a gift to somebody. You are opening up to them the most positive, uplifting community. And for that, I will never apologize for my posts, who I am, or what I support because that is me on a level deeper than the surface of what people see. And honestly, guys, don't apologize for who you are because you are amazing. You are inspiring other people. And every time that you put up a post, you are opening the chance to change somebody's life. And that is something we never have to apologize for. So this is my call to action. Take risks, guys. The thing that a lot of people don't know about me is that I am a very adventurous kid. It honestly made my parents and my family nervous. I'm the type that jumps out of planes, jumps off buildings, and climbs mountains. I'm also the type of person that is smart enough to know that if I'm going to jump out of a plane, I call my family after. So take risks. If you win, you will be happy. If you lose, you will be wise. To me, that is something that resonates with my heart because what I have learned in this last year of just completely failing forward, of watching my team fall and grow and watching me have to rebuild myself as a person. I am happier with the person I am now than I ever am before. And that is honestly after suffering the worst time of my life. So you have to take risks. Share that post. Share that deep emotional why. Put it out there and don't be afraid. Don't run away. Wait a few minutes because when you share those posts that resonate with your niche, with your market, those people are going to appreciate you so much more. I can't tell you the number of people that have come to me to talk about grieving, to talk about anxiety and depression, who have thanked me for being honest about the loss I have suffered because they needed to hear that it's okay to grieve. And that, guys, will far supersede any hater that posts some negativity about being in another MLM network company. Because if you've experienced and had a personal change, you realize that we're in the business of changing lives. We're not in the business of selling stuff. And on the left, you'll see something that's really awesome. I was recently asked to sponsor a very big event in Pittsburgh for a health coach who works for something called UPMC. She is an Ironman trained, sponsored athlete, and she came to me and told me she has seen this passion exude from me lately, and she wanted me to be one of the sponsors and share one of my health and fitness raffle baskets because she wants me to be able to reach more people. So I had to step out of my comfort zone. I had to make an official business postcard to give to the people there that were going to be checking out this raffle. And honestly, it's crazy, guys, to think if you look at that person on the left, that is a genuinely happy person. And it's because of this community. It's because of people like Alden and the teams that we are blessed to be on, because they genuinely care about your well-being and they want you to be successful solely for you and not for their benefit. So if you learn anything from me, guys, take risks. Show up and be consistent every single day, because I would have never thought 2 years ago that I would be in the position I am now. But I am, and I'm happy because of it. And I totally love what we do, and I love this team. And I hope that you guys realize first and foremost that you are needed in this world, and we are on a quest to end the trend of obesity. But we can't do that if we all give up. So show up, be consistent, respect your business, and invest in personal development, because you matter. And that is what your coach, I'm sure, tells you all the time, is you're just blessed to be here, and we love having you to be on this team. So go out there, change lives, and get it done. But always remember that you are the one that can make this happen. No one can do this for you. So show up, take risks, and never give up.
Wow, that was just incredible. Like, I cannot even tell you how much I appreciate you sharing your story and just pouring your heart out to us tonight. Gina, you are absolutely incredible, and I cannot wait to hear people's takeaways from this. I know that this call is going to mean so much to my team. So thank you so much for your time. If you don't mind staying on for just a few minutes, I'm going to wrap up. And guys, thank you for those of you who are on live. Thank you for those of you who take the time to go and listen to the playback. Please share your takeaways in our team page, and I will see you all next Tuesday. That is the 11th, I believe. Next Tuesday, the 11th at 8 o'clock. And I hope you all have a great week.